This is episode number 430 of the Health and Fitness Podcast by InnerFight, brought to you in association with Smith Street Carrier. This week we're joined one of the other shows from the London Podcast Roadshow by an awesome guy, the name of Alex Castro. I'm sure you're all going to absolutely love this show. No matter where you are, please enjoy it. I am super excited about this show. Another one from my London podcast road trip. And what an absolute pleasure to sit this morning. Mr. Alex Castro. Alex, thanks a lot, mate.
Thank you for having me, dude. Thank you very much.
Mate, I know we've sort of been in touch through mutual friends for the last few years. I've heard your name kicking around. You've listened to our voices on the podcast. So it feels like we know each other, but it's the first time actually sitting down here in London. So, mate, I really appreciate you.
Oh, man, honestly, it's a real honor. Seeing some of the guests and listening to some of your previous podcasts, it's a real privilege to be here.
All these good guests that we keep getting.
Amazing. It's like such a high standard. What am I doing here, dude?
Someone said that the other day. They're like, I'm no one, and you've had, because when we send them a little bit of a podcast brief, we're like, yeah, we've got 400 shows, and we've got this guy on it and that guy on it, and they're like, well, I don't even have a story. But I think that's the thing, man, and that's what we were talking about before. Everyone does have a fitness story. Everyone has a journey. So
Agreed.
Let's start with yours, mate. How did you get into fitness? What do you do? Give us more than just the 90-second elevator pitch, mate. Who are you?
So basically, I was a young kid growing up in North London. Sport was kind of the only thing I was pretty good at, so I played basketball up to a really good level. I played rugby, again, another good level. Always doing other sports like athletics. I mean, I tried football, but my feet don't really work. So when it comes to kicking a ball around, and it kind of naturally, for me, fell into becoming a PT, learning a bit more about fitness. As you get older, you start realizing competition in sport is far greater than you probably ever realized. And, being one of the best or the best in a specific sport is, it's such a difficult thing, right?
Do you think that, we're a little bit older, you're a little bit younger than me, but, when we were growing up, you wanted to be a professional sportsman, I wanted to be a professional sportsman, and we understood how hard it was. These days, it must be incredibly hard for these kids, but we still see a lot of kids going after it and chasing that dream.
Oh, man, good for them. I want kids to chase dreams like that, whatever dream it is, But for us, because obviously we love sports, the more kids chasing it, the better. It keeps sports alive. I'd like to see, not everyone, I don't want everyone just to keep going for football because it's like the highest paid sport out there. It'd be nice to see some other sports, more triathletes, things like that, CrossFitters now, things that just keep people moving. But it's also good to keep the competition side in a child's life, I think. I think they need to learn how to lose. They need to learn how to be good winners. And I think that's an important side. That definitely, for me, there was a lot of losing. So, it makes you humble. It makes you humble. And that day, that kind of day where you realize wait a minute, man, I'm nowhere near where I thought I was. It's tough to swallow, but it just makes you a stronger person. And then you find a different journey. It's totally fine. You stay within the area you like, sport, fitness.
We won't go down the road that I've trodden before on the show, and got some interesting comments of kids getting participation models. I love what you said there, that kids need to learn to lose. I think that's something that is super important, but we'll skip that for the time being because I get all the parents calling, oh no, it's good that little Johnny participates. It's great that he participates, but don't give the little beep a medal for it. So you were into competitive sport, mate, so it's not a surprise that you sort of moved into the fitness industry then.
So I basically wanted to become a PT. Wanted to pass on some of the information, the skills that I learned, and I actually found that quite tough because I'm not really that. I wouldn't call myself academic. I don't really like studying. I don't think many people, you do. I think there's a small minority, but I don't really absorb information like other people. I don't feel right. You know, when I read things, I have to read pages like 2-3 times sometimes. You know, just to get the gist. My world. Yeah, dude. Like I think a lot of people have it, but not many people will admit it. Which is
my mum said I was dyslexic, but
that's what I told myself. But I think it's just bloody laziness. Yeah. It's because we want to be so active all the time. So I actually started working in a bodybuilding gym. Just
no way
cooking chicken for bodybuilders and cleaning toilets and
listen to this. If you are a personal trainer, if you are a coach, that is how you start your... But mate, come on, that is just the ultimate way to start.
Oh mate, it was the most rundown warehouse called Muscle Limit Gym in a place called Brimsdown. If anyone's from Enfield listening to this, you'll know what I'm talking about. It was just jack dudes lifting heavy shit. Yeah, that was it.
Dirty, horrible. Yeah.
I mean, I cleaned as much as I could, guys, but it was a dirty place.
What a start, man!
Oh man, it's again humbling. You realise the hours you have to put into this industry. Dude. Yeah, like getting up at 5 o'clock for the first time in my life. My eyes at that first morning, I was like, "Oh my god, is this what I've decided to do?"
So that was the entry into it, mate. Cooking chicken and cleaning a dirty, filthy gym.
Oh yeah, man. But
how good?
Man, you missed those days because all you did was lift weight.
Really?
Eat food. That was what you were taught to do, right? Eat.
How was the fitness landscape then? Because it would have been so different to what people see fitness as today. Give us a little bit of an insight, mate.
Well, from starting in Muscle Limit, it was basically, for me, everything was based on just aesthetics. Like you knew that you had to pile on as much weight as you could through a certain period, and then you had to basically cut your calories, cut your carbs, cardio for an hour in the morning, sometimes 30 minutes extra in the evening, plus your weights. It was such an old school mentality of fitness. Yeah. It was like £5 a go, £40 a month memberships. Really cheap. Really like bog standard. You got one shower, you know, there's queues always for it. It wasn't, and it was no frills.
Yeah. But people working hard.
Man. It was like, it had to eventually turn into 24 hours, dude. Yeah. People wanted to train. It was just, but you had like your hardcore builders. Yeah. You know, people that did a night shift. You know, you just had your regular dudes and regular girls in there. Just
unreal, mate.
But just lifting.
Yeah.
3-4 cardio machines shared between the gym. Yeah, that were broken. Yeah. And dusty as hell. Man.
So you start as a basically as a gym odd bod, mate.
Yeah.
What did you just love it from the start? You just love the environment, or what was it about it?
You know, I think in this industry, every sort of style of training has its own community. So like when you're in a bodybuilding gym, you create like a family of just pure bodybuilders, right? It's you start getting into the sort of the sport, the whole world of it. Like you watch these dudes transform within like a 12, maybe 18-week period. Right. And you just become like obsessed with, I've got to have these abs, I've got to have those shoulders, man. Yeah. I've got to look that way. Yeah. And it just becomes this addiction of just learning more from them, understanding how are they doing it. Like, you know, you just become this big family, and
that's cool.
You know, you see them feeding off each other. It's just a great community. Yeah. I think that kind of answered your question. I wasn't too sure if I went off a little tangent.
I think it's. I think that a lot of fitness since back in the day was rooted in community. I think what we're seeing now in the modern day, which is obviously where we're going to get to with what you're currently doing, is also a lot about community. I think somewhere along the way, Globo gyms have broken that down and haven't got it. But I think, and everyone that I sort of speak to that loves working out and stuff, or that has come to the fitness industry, a lot of us have played team sports, so we're people that just love a community and a team around us, and that just shows sort of how you got started there in a bodybuilding gym. So it absolutely does, mate. So how did you progress? How did your journey continue then? you obviously didn't cook the chicken and mop the floors forever.
No. So there's not much money in in that. So you basically, my mother gave me a little loan.
Yeah.
I think it was something around, I think a course cost me about 3,000 something pounds to do like a standard PT course.
Right.
Which, by the way, just to throw it out there to anyone, that doesn't make you a good PT if you instantly do one of those courses.
No.
Although you would think, if you're at my age at the time, I was 21, just qualified as this PT.
Yeah.
Thinking, yeah, man, I'm going to make shitloads of money. I am going to be the nuts.
Really?
And it doesn't work out that way, does it? It's like, you get this qualification, which is box standard information. It's like standard anatomy and physiology. It's standard like programming.
Yeah.
You go out there, and again, you're back where you started, but this time in just a nicer gym.
Right.
You're folding towels. But your aim, I joined a company which was Home's Place at the time.
Yeah.
Which is now Virgin Active.
Okay.
It was in Mayfair, so I thought, well, moving on up in the world.
Yeah.
But then, again, you just got to put in the grind, right?
Yeah.
You go in there, you do the same things, clean machines,
Really?
fold towels. But your aim now is to build a rapport with members and try and get PT. And again, it doesn't always really work out because you're now.
I mean, mate, you've come through
small
the
fish.
Most hardcore way, really, haven't you? You know, I can't imagine what it felt like. You know, you've taken a loan from your mum, you've gone and got qualified. As you say, you think, right now I've made it, and you're back. You're just in a nicer place. And Home's Place gyms back in the day were quite nice.
Yeah.
You know, but you're still just folding towels. But you're now folding towels for the rich people instead of just for the big brute bodybuilders who could be rich as well, obviously. But so it's kind of a strange entry into a career, isn't it?
It's an eye opener.
Yeah,
it's a real eye opener because you could have all of this knowledge, and even if you've just come out of like a master's or a PhD in sports science or whatever it is you do, you need to be a good salesman, right?
Yeah,
and I've gone into this industry never selling anything,
really, and
now I've got to sell myself.
Yeah,
and that's how you make money as a PT, right? In these gyms, and it's still happening today. Young kids that go in, whatever gym they're in. I won't mention too many names of the ones I don't like. They pay a rent or they do hours, and then they now have to sell that they're a great PT amongst thousands of them.
So what was different about you, mate? How did you go about it? How did you get your first clients, and what was it like?
Well, I quit, dude. I didn't stay in Mayfair for long.
Really?
I was like, I got offered a position at a more, I'd say a more fitness leisure center based gym,
right?
With the same guys that owned the bodybuilding gym,
right?
And I just became like a fitness manager there.
Nice.
And that's when I started learning the business.
Right.
And started learning the small things that you have to know to actually run a gym.
Yeah.
And then I took it from there. So back to square one again, this time earning a bit of a salary. So it was a bit more income.
Yeah.
And I just started doing this style of fitness that not many people were doing, which going from bodybuilding, everyone doing bodybuilding, it kind of evolved into maybe a bit more circuit training.
Right.
Potentially what you would call CrossFit today.
Yeah.
Just mixing it up, and it drew interest. Like, people were interested. Like,
it's a funny thing, though, isn't it? We've got to CrossFit quite quickly. We're not even 15 minutes in.
Sorry.
And, which is awesome. But because you were doing it, I was doing it, everyone was doing it, you're doing something that we'd been in those bodybuilding gyms. We'd done 5x5 here, 5x5 there, and there is nothing wrong with 5x5, folks. For strength, I still love it. We still program it at our gym. But trust me, if you just going to the gym and you're picking sort of 4 different exercises 4 times a week and doing 5x5, it gets really bloody boring.
Yeah, it does.
And I think that's when we started moving into like before even CrossFit was around, or before we knew it, it didn't really travel very well from the States to here until maybe sort of almost 2009, 2010, I guess, is when it really... I don't know when the first CrossFit gym would have opened in London.
I'm not too sure, but I think it was a one in Holloway Road.
Right.
I think it was... I don't know. It's not CrossFit North London, because I know that one's in
CrossFit Central London under the railway arches there.
But that was a long time after this period of time in my life. It's weird, man, because it was like...
But the point what we're making here, folks, is that there was certain fitness professionals that realised that, okay, these bodybuilding gyms were great, and you said something before, like it was only about aesthetics, and it took hours and hours of just like more sets of 5x5, but coaches like yourself, Alex, started to say, okay, let's take some of these movements, or let's just train a little bit different and put it into what we then traditionally know as a circuit training, and then everyone's like, okay, this is CrossFit. It was quite a weird time, wasn't it? Because you're not
freaks
CrossFit.
People out, dude. Freak people out. Like I use CrossFit, but I'm not a CrossFit. I don't see myself as a CrossFitter. I still struggle with things like muscle ups. But I've never done a handstand walk in my life. And for me to spend hours on end practicing a handstand walk is kind of pointless, because I don't see where I'm going to be able to
where's that going to take you?
Where's it going to take me?
Yeah, I love it.
I totally get it, why people do it.
Yeah.
If you're into gymnastics, amazing. I'm literally in awe of these people that can stay on their hands for so long. But for me and the time restrictions, it's not a good use of my time.
Can't do it,
I'd rather do some wall walkouts and stuff like that if I'm going to start working on my upper body strength.
So you started a different form of training, mate.
Yeah, so I kind of just, all it was simply saying to a client, you know what, dude, you're going to squat, nice front squat, heavy, but after that you're going to slam a ball against the wall.
Right, that's simple.
That's simple.
Love
it just took people away from the treadmills and... and all of the generic cardio machines.
Yeah.
And like built a decent clientele. But dude, I was charging £25 an hour.
Steal.
Giving 10 of that. Giving that to 10 of that to a gym just for being there.
Really?
So, £15.
Yeah. That was it.
That was it, man. None of this £80 an hour. None of this 8 hours a day. All of this stuff that my dream was.
That's unreal.
Yeah, but it was one of the best times.
Was it? Yeah.
Because, potentially, I started something in myself that just continued to progress. I was I've grafted.
Yeah.
Everything I get now, I'm earning. I'm this is it. This isn't about sitting on my ass and just saying to someone, I'm the best.
Yeah.
And, kind of showing my pecs off and thinking that people are just going to come and train with me because I got big pecs.
You're not Arnie.
Dude. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not walking around like Arnold Schwarzenegger. What was that, 54-inch chest?
Yeah.
No way. But I've kind of given people, in my head I was giving people an hour of solid training.
Yeah.
And they were looking better, feeling fitter, and they weren't spending an hour just doing one body part.
Yeah.
They weren't spending an hour doing cardio, and they weren't cutting carbs.
Yeah.
To the point where they hated life.
Yeah. Well, we'll come on to the food in a bit, but I love this because it's so much about just graft and you've got so much energy and so much passion about it, mate, which is just amazing to see that, you started out the hard way, and it's what you said there. It's you were able to spend that time with someone, and then you made them better. You know what I mean? It wasn't about, you weren't earning a truckload of money. You weren't able to charge £80 or whatever the rates are now. No, but your satisfaction just must have been through the roof, especially from where you came from. Yeah, like from cleaning and cooking in a bodybuilding gym. You must have been loving this.
Dude, we came from quite a poor background. So,
right.
Single mum, raising us just with good values. Me and two other brothers. Yeah. We learned to graft.
Yeah.
When you get into a job, suddenly become one of two people in my head. You become that person that kind of coasts and earns a decent salary for the rest of your life, or you become a person that wants to grind.
Yeah.
And at first I was a coaster, and then I feel like I expected success just because I was there.
Yeah, yeah. But it's happening now, mate. It still happens.
Still, today, it's even in my head worse today. And I know people that know me are expecting me to say this, but with social media, it's a little bit like you're trying to tell people you're successful before you're actually successful. You are. Yeah. I'm an athlete without being an athlete, because you can post pictures and videos of your selected moments in life. Yeah. Kind of portray that you're this awesome human, but really deep down you're quite insecure and not really working much and not really earning much and not really doing anything.
I actually did a great show yesterday with a girl, Rachel Thompson, who does a lot of animal flow at Reach Fitness here in London. And she's a very humble person, so I don't want you to take this in the wrong way, folks. But she always posts these great animal flow routines that she does. And we're chatting on the show yesterday, and I was like, how do you put it together? And she's like, Marcus, honestly, it's sometimes hours of failures. Yeah. It's hours of getting it wrong before I get it right. I'm like, I want to see that on your Instagram. I want to see that failure. I want to see, like, where it just goes totally wrong, like the blooper sort of clip. Because I think you're absolutely right, man. Maybe, I mean, I'm probably as guilty as well through my social media. Like, a lot of the time I want to post the good stuff. And then, I mean, to be honest, when I had my accident and I was sort of posting stuff from hospital was probably my lowest point. But it was like, you have to put everything out there. If you're going to put everything out there, you have to go sort of all in on it. So it's an interesting situation.
I mean, I'm a little bit nervous now that if you survived being hit by a truck, I mean, I don't want to get on your bad side.
No, not at all. So, mate, so from there till today,
yes, sir.
Now you're basically the man at Barry's Bootcamp here in London. You are
one of many.
You're the man there, mate. Talk to us about what I mean, for those that don't know, what is Barry's? How you got there? What sort of fitness is it?
So Barry's Bootcamp, originally from LA, is HIIT training on the treadmill.
Right.
To put it simply, HIIT training on the treadmill with resistance on the floor. So we mix it up. The original concept was 30 minutes of treadmill. 30 minutes of resistance training using weights, dumbbells, bands, med balls. We split the body parts much like a bodybuilder would.
Okay.
Monday you got your arms day, Tuesday legs day, chest back day, today's ab day, core day, and then it's full body through Friday to Sunday.
Right.
And what Barry's have done is developed a concept where you get an amazing workout, you get all the endorphins you need, you get good resistance training, and you're in a good nightclub environment, I would call it. It's like great music, good lighting, you got state-of-the-art equipment, the treadmills aren't, your rubbish lifestyle fitness, they're kind of like woodways all through. There's a lot of investment gone into this. And we create good vibes, man. I think in terms of teaching boutique fitness classes, Barry's Bootcamp are number one. And I'm not scared to say that to anyone. Anyone that is in the boutique industry in London, those trainers have come to Barry's.
Really?
Some have loved us and wanted to join us. Others have hated us either because they know we're the best or because they kind of have a different way of training.
It's unreal. I mean, one thing you said there, mate, that I want to pick up on, you said in a nightclub sort of setting environment. Just explain that to us a little bit. Like, it's a gym or is it a nightclub?
It's a gym. It's a training facility. It's a boutique gym. But we wanted to make it enjoyable for people. So we set the lighting right, nice red light. You look great under it.
Really?
I feel I look like 10% body fat less if you go under that light.
So it's a good team.
It looks great.
Into it,
it became more of recent years than just looking good.
Right.
Barry's is, especially the boys in London, the two owners. They've created a family.
Yeah, nice.
And I think most clients feel that they they're
part of something.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
We're not everyone's best friend. Like we're your trainers. We're there to give you a good workout. We're there to make you better physically. We're there to obviously get your thinking right at times. When we're with our chats one-on-one with them.
Yeah.
So, not every trainer is everyone's best friend. I know there's people that probably wouldn't come to my class because they probably don't like the way I teach. But that's totally fine.
Yeah.
We have a trainer for you that will suit your personality.
Yeah, right. Absolutely.
But the bottom line is most people, they get on well with us.
Yeah.
They love us. We love them.
Yeah.
We've built this rapport. I'm going on a weekend away with my 6 a.m. crew.
Wow.
All right.
That's very powerful, mate.
And it's non-profit.
Yeah.
We're just hanging out, dude.
Yeah.
Because we have something in common. We're going to do an assault course, like massive obstacle course race.
So cool.
There'll be a few beers shared.
Yeah.
Loads of fitness chat.
Yeah.
And I'm doing it because I want to spend time with them. I'm not doing it because I'm here to make money off of them.
Yeah.
It's just we've become friends.
You just continuing to love that team environment and that sense of community.
Yeah.
So on that, mate, who's the target market? Who's coming to, we've spoken a little bit about the CrossFit guys, and we can continue to bash them if you like. I'm all good with that.
No way.
Who's coming to Barry's? What's your sort of clientele?
We have everything from your yummy mummy, if you call it, your hard city worker.
Yeah.
Our time slots that you see, your 6 a.m. are like your real grafters. They're those people that don't really have much time in a day. They work solid hours. So if they don't get it done at 6, they don't get it done.
Right, yeah.
The same sort of thing with your 7, 10. Then you start moving into your people with a bit more flexible hours, your 8:20s, maybe 9:30s, and so on.
Yeah.
And the crowd does change.
Yeah.
Our lunchtime crowd, the classes are slightly shorter. We just shade off 10 minutes.
Yeah.
We throw in a free shake for that.
Nice.
Just to kind of say, you can still get your workout done.
In your lunch break.
Yeah, in your lunch break.
Yeah,
get in, get out. But I would say anybody and everybody. We had a guy that just did the marathon in like sub 2:30. So he was a regular Barry's goer.
Wow.
I personally think he came in to show off a little bit because, but like, he's awesome. I mean, on my own, I was a client before I joined, so like,
really,
for me, it was about just getting fitter, learning this new thing, right?
Yeah.
So our clients could be anybody,
Cool. Very cool, mate. Let's move into a little bit of a discussion about how it's changed, because Barry's is quite new.
Yeah,
we started off bodybuilding, then we went into Globo gyms. What we've seen in the industry now is concepts like Barry's. F45 is blowing up. It's obviously been huge globally. It's here in London, you were saying before. In your opinion, why has the industry moved in that way? Like, what are people now looking for that's different from before?
I think obviously people are looking for something that doesn't take up too much time.
Right.
They're also looking for the privilege of not having to worry about what their program is.
Right.
Your traditional gym induction took an hour. You got given this boring program.
But you never did.
You never did. Or do 2 leg exercises, 2 back exercises, whatever it was.
Awful.
Nothing really had any major structure to it. What the boutiques, I think, provide now is that lack of worry. We've just taken something off your shoulders.
Yeah.
And again, in a busy city like London, the same, it happens in New York probably years before it comes to here.
Right.
Fitness is evolving in a way that we're just trying to offer people the best workout we believe that we can give them in a short period of time.
Yeah.
We're getting people moving. And I think that's why so many boutiques are opening up, because it's becoming fashionable to train now as well.
Yeah,
right? So
I think
people dress better when they go to the gyms. They train in better stuff.
Yeah, Nike are loving it. Adidas are loving it.
Yeah, it's all social.
Yeah.
Again, it creates a community, as you know.
Yeah.
CrossFit has a huge community.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I guess it's just so much fun, so much better than just sometimes sitting there and, as you said, 5'5".
Yeah. It's just boring.
Yeah, if all you're trying to do is shade a few pounds, or feel a bit better about yourself, then boutique fitness has a place in your life.
And I think that's really what probably 80% of the population need to do. They need to just probably drop a few kilos, feel better and just move a little bit more. What we see though, mate, is these kind of concepts come at a price point, but you're getting a level of coaching that is not at the price point of personal training.
Of course.
So I think that's one thing as well. Like, I don't know how many people you'd have in a class at Barry's.
A few, man. We get anything from 46, I believe 59 you can get in a class.
So
it's a lot of people.
It's quite a lot, but you're still in a class environment where you're getting actual instruction and coaching. And like you said as well, we don't really want to go to the gym and just go, oh, this is a program, I'm going to do it, and just wait for whatever to happen. Like, your program is there, and it's done for the people, and it's constantly changing as well.
Yeah, of course. And with Barry's, it's like, there's a lot of people.
Yeah.
But we are taught to handle that situation in the best way possible.
Right.
At the end of the day, I don't think there's any perfect fitness concept.
That's where I was coming to next. Yeah, cool.
There's no such thing as perfection.
Yeah.
You do the best with what you've got.
Yeah.
We teach our coaches, we get taught how to handle these situations. We always get taught, see someone in a dangerous position, stop them.
Right.
And again, you'll be in a class, and how many times, even at Barry's, where you're saying, the coach is saying a million times, pull your shoulders back, nice straight back, whatever it is they're instructing, and there's someone rounded like a co-hand, right? Yeah. That is going to happen.
Yeah.
You just can't help that. The best thing you can do is make sure that they are doing things as safely as possible.
Yeah.
All right? And sometimes injuries happen.
Yeah.
They're going to happen in any concept.
Absolutely.
We have to take responsibility as much as we can. And then the person going into there has to also take a bit of responsibility for themselves.
Absolutely.
If you've never done fitness before, I probably wouldn't just jump into a boutique class.
Right.
Of any sort.
Just get some decent help, get some one-on-one stuff for 5 sessions, 10 sessions.
Learn a few basics of movement.
Absolutely.
It's just like, I don't understand why people hesitate so much to get PTs and coaches. I don't get it. Like, they're happy, and this is not. They're happy to spend £15 on a cocktail which lasts 20 seconds.
Yeah.
Or go out there and buy themselves a pair of trainers' shoes for £100, £200, but they won't invest in their health in the same way. And it's a little bit frustrating watching that happen, but I totally understand. You may not find value in someone's coaching.
Yeah.
Then find coaching that you find value in.
They find value in their cocktail, though.
Find value in that cocktail.
It is difficult.
But it's a shame. But
absolutely, mate. Mate, we've come from, like, if we take your story over the last sort of 15 years, we've come from that bodybuilding gym. We've moved to the Globo gym. We're now in a solution that is so different. Like, we would just never have predicted that we were working out in a nightclub style of studio, which is what Barry's is. F45 is just a 45-minute workout. Even CrossFit, mate, it's an hour workout. So we've removed the problem that people have of how much cardio, how much weight. This is where we're at now, and you said it. We're saving people's time. We're giving them a solution in an hour.
Of course.
Where do you think it's going, mate? Like, where will we be in 5 years? Because it's amazing. Like, you've worked in the different pillars of the industry, if you want to call it that. Yeah. So where will you be in 5 years? What will you be teaching?
Dude, my dream was never to be famous, never to be super rich. Yeah. My dream was literally to become the best trainer I can be. Right. So when my time, and I don't see my time at Barry's ending anytime soon, but when my time comes, the likelihood is you'll find me in a warehouse space, much similar to your local CrossFit box, teaching local people how to move.
Really?
And I don't see it being... I mean, you're a business owner, so you know what it takes to own a business.
Yeah.
That still scares me.
Right.
And so it should.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. It's not easy.
And, everyone comes to Barry's now. We're rammed. We're constantly busy. And they didn't see the days where my boss was on his hands and knees fixing every machine. Fixing things himself.
People forget about that, don't they?
They now see the days where he might be sitting having lunch because he's now got 10 minutes to spare, and before he didn't have any time to spare. It's not an overnight success. So, but the dream is still to kind of have my own space, coach kids, so we get there early.
Awesome, mate.
And I had this thing that one day, where if I'm lucky enough to become a father, where I could possibly start doing parents and children coaching together.
Wow, so to develop a workout that they can do together.
Just instruct, where the parents are there with their kids.
Yeah.
And it may not be the most intense workout.
Yeah.
But
the value
they're
is just
they're
huge.
with their child, spending quality time.
Yeah.
They're all learning, they're all training. What's not to enjoy about that, right?
What's not to enjoy, yeah. Yeah, it's interesting, mate, because I'm not sure... I'm sure we will package fitness in a different way in 5 years, but I'm not sure what it will look like, because
I'm hoping it doesn't get too lazy. I want the fundamentals and the basics. Making fitness accessible for everyone kind of takes away a little bit of what fitness really is.
Yeah.
I get we want to get people moving, but you can't say, guys, it's easy. It's not supposed to be easy.
Well, that's what I was going to say. If you look at it, in let's take Barry's or let's take CrossFit or let's take F45, no matter which one of those three concepts we take, people are working harder today than they were 5x5 and a little bit of cardio in a Virgin Active gym 5 years ago, aren't they?
Yeah.
So it's not got easier, mate.
No.
But we've seen more people involved in it.
Of course. Barry's is not easy.
No.
Like, it's just
brutal, huh?
It's brutal. You get big dudes. I mean, I train with some rugby boys. They lift like they're real animals.
Yeah.
They can't run for shit, dude.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you used to run on a rugby field. What's the deal here? And they're like, as soon as you put them on for 5 minutes or more, they're done.
Really?
Like, wow. So it's not easy, but we're making it more accessible for people to train in that way.
Yeah.
But we also, as trainers, we take responsibility for the programming. So I'm not there to bash you to the point of you're begging for mercy. I'm there to kind of tell you, to help you progress.
Yeah.
And eventually, if you become a super athlete, amazing.
Yeah.
I don't think boutique fitness is where you find all your super athletes.
Yeah.
I think you'll find them more in the dungeon gyms.
Yeah.
But I know that I'm part of something that is making a difference.
Yeah.
And I enjoy that
nice,
part
mate.
of it.
Yeah, if you're coaching 50 people in a class, I think that's super. I think you're making a difference there, mate. Mate, let's talk about your own personal fitness journey.
Cool.
And how do you now train? Like, will you do Barry's one class a day, or like how does it work for you personally?
So Barry's did a lot for me fitness-wise.
Yep.
I mean, if you believe it or not, my first 10K was like 45 minutes, and when I was at my peak of Barry's training, I dropped it down to 32 minutes.
Wow.
It was like one morning, just got up, my fitness, whatever running app I had at the time, and I was like, bang, off I went.
Really?
Looked at the clock, was like, wow.
That's quick.
Yeah. And it's my PB.
Yeah.
I'm a sub 40 10K now, but weighing at like 85 kilos. I'm pretty pleased with that.
That's very good, mate.
But Barry's, I was a client first, so I will still always do Barry's because I believe in the concept.
Yeah, very cool.
I jumped on the Marcus Philly Awaken series for a couple of series. I did 1 and 2.
Yeah.
It started to get a bit too technical for me, where I was avoiding some of the workouts because I couldn't do the movements.
Right.
And I scaled a lot of it.
Yeah.
So I didn't invest in the next one because I thought, well, I'm scaling so much here. Let's just take it back to basics.
Folks, you should definitely check that out, Marcus Philly program that Alex was talking about there. He's a guy that, and that's probably why some of the movements you were not super happy with. He's come from a CrossFit background 6 times. Previous show guest, Andre actually interviewed him a couple of months ago, so go and check out his functional bodybuilding program has really exploded, but some of the movements are still quite CrossFit based at the same time.
But I love that.
Yeah.
I do love that. But as I said to you, I can't handstand walk. So if you're going to give me a workout with handstand walks, yes, I can scale it.
Yeah.
But I'm not built to take that. I'm not built for that type of training. As much as I love CrossFit, I watch CrossFit.
Yeah.
I mean, remember watching Rich Froning for the first time and being like, wow.
Yeah.
And I stumbled across him looking for supplements.
Yeah. Oh, no
like
way.
The typical gym bod.
Yeah.
First thing, I'm going to get back
Protein
into training.
shakes.
Protein, BCAAs.
Yeah.
And I stumbled across him on a supplement company, and I was like, wow, who's this dude?
Yeah.
And he was doing all this stuff. And I was like, I should try that.
Really?
And then I did actually join a box.
Did you?
Yeah, and I loved it.
Yeah.
And they were great.
Yeah.
And I started doing things that I never did before. Like, I started working in intensity I never did before. I was like, great. But did I want to become a CrossFit athlete? Hell no.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I see what they go through.
Yeah. I don't want that.
And I'm just a regular dude.
Yeah,
you know? If you compare me to your everyday 34-year-old, I'm probably a bit fitter than them.
Yeah, for sure.
Am I an athlete, though?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Yeah.
What it takes to be the best.
Yeah.
It's not that I don't know. I don't know what my body could do if I really wanted to. But I ain't that bothered.
Yeah.
I train because I want to feel good. When it starts becoming a job, to me, it takes the fun out of it.
Absolutely, mate. Mate, one of the pillars that we haven't spoken about is we've spoken about getting this part of the population active, and Barry's is doing a fantastic job. I think all these concepts are if people take ownership and buy in. One of the things that people really need to take ownership of is their food.
Yeah.
And I've seen a mix of stuff since I've been in London. I've seen a lot more health food stores. I've seen more Five Guys burger joints, and I've seen more general burger joints than I've ever seen before. But what's the state of food, how people are consuming it, what people are eating in London at the moment, from what you've seen?
In general, we're growing as a nation.
Right.
I think. And you understandably so, because I think the world is currently set up for failure.
Yeah.
It's so cheap to eat unhealthy, right?
Right.
You can get a burger and chips at McDonald's for like £5.
Yeah.
But to eat a decent salad,
it's
well over £10. Now, if you're someone with 3 kids, you've got one income coming in your house, that burger is all you got.
Yeah.
So we're kind of set up to fail. Health food has become so expensive.
Yep.
People charge stupid money.
Yeah.
So at the moment, I don't think it's in a great state. I do understand that people are becoming more aware of what they're eating, especially when they do train.
Yeah.
But striking that balance is quite difficult. People go to extremes.
Yeah.
So they either cut out everything or they don't cut out anything. That balance, that medium part of life, that kind of nice area is it's hard for people.
Yeah, that's what I've seen. I've seen a lot of cafes that are offering healthier food options, but the price, it comes at a massive price tag. Like you say, it's like to get even a decent sort of salad that's something like, and that actually fills you up, that's not just lettuce, tomato and cucumber, it could be £10, £15, whereas you've still got kebab stores or fast food stores knocking a meal out, as you absolutely said, under £5. So
man.
And
I went to a deli a couple of weeks ago. I had all of this, know where my chicken is sourced from, local farm this, fresh organic, everything. And my basket was like half full, and it ended up being over £50.
Incredible.
And I know from shopping in my whole life and basically cooking most of my food. Yeah. I know that in a Tesco, for example, that would have cost me £15.
Yeah.
Maybe 20.
Yeah.
How are we going to get people who have no money, who are struggling already, who have kids to feed, to eat that £50
It's a struggle,
basket?
isn't it, mate?
It is. It's not. I know that people don't always want to eat this stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not like people want to have the crap meat and the shit just going off veg. They want the good stuff.
They want the good stuff.
Iceland, it's all frozen. They can keep it in the fridge and just pop it out whenever they need. It's convenience, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But if they're out here,
it's tough.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's people need to back their ideas up, man. And we've got all these places promoting fitness. Oh, I want you to eat healthy. Well, give people the chance to buy your food. Stop charging so bloody much for it. Dude. And I know it's hard for them as well as a business, but we're losing.
Yeah, I think you've obviously, mate, that's so true what you're saying there, and I think we're in a really tough situation where people know they should eat healthier, but sometimes the financial situation just doesn't allow it, mate, and people just can't justify, especially great example you used there, if you're feeding 2 or 3 kids as well, and you know it just doesn't economically make or financially make any sense for people to be, you know, to be going super healthy and to be, I think unfortunately on the food side, I don't think the future is super bright. I think I remember listening to Rich Roll talk about actually how cheap vegetarianism and veganism is, because you just go to the store and you buy lettuce and you buy some potatoes and you sort of can put it together, and he forgot to add that it tastes like absolute crap. And it's but you know, some of the vegetarians will obviously, or vegans will obviously come back and say actually eating this way is actually cheap, but I also don't think it is. Yesterday I had a full vegetarian lunch and it didn't taste that great, and it cost me £12. And it was some kale, some sweet potato, and some sort of, it was like a frittata of, I don't know what was in it. They called it falafel frittata, but it tastes anything like falafel that I'd ever tasted. So I think, it's I think that's one of the pieces of the pie that we're sort of missing. I think on a fitness level, we're seeing great group classes like something like Barry's, like CrossFit, like F45 coming in at a good price for people. It's cheaper than personal training. It's a little bit more expensive than a gym, but they're getting a lot more value. But on the food side, I think it's massively challenging.
It's hard, man. I mean, at least with what CrossFit does with Barry's and other boutiques, we're trying to sell you success. We're not trying to sell you failure. Gyms, in my experience, their profits are based on your failure. You pay for a membership, you don't go, you're still paying them. They earn your money for you doing nothing and not getting anywhere. So I kind of think gyms, that's probably why it's losing its appeal. Although some of them are great now, like your gym boxes and your third spaces and things like that. They're great. Equinox is opening up massive here, so it's good. But these gyms are cut above the rest because they put a little bit more effort in getting their members moving. And I just think some of your other brands are, and they know who they are. I don't even need to say it. They're not the same kind of gym.
Mate, we've had a good journey and a good understanding, mate. You've obviously had an incredible journey and super amounts of respect from where you started to where you are now, mate.
Thank you.
To wrap it up, we want to use a question that we use with a lot of our guests, and sort of puts you on the spot, but I'm sure you'll get a decent answer for us. The question is in all of your journey that you've had through the fitness industry, you've obviously learned a shitload. You've had some really interesting experiences. What would be the one piece of advice, life advice, that you could give to people that you've learned along the way?
My advice is enjoy the ride. It's going to get bumpy from time to time, but do your best to enjoy the ride. We don't have long. You know, we don't. If you're not enjoying it, don't do it. Change it. It's not sustainable. You got something to change. You know, it's just about finding that balance. And most importantly, guys, if it's not something you are enjoying, you will never keep it up. Enjoy the ride.
I think that's so true, and it's come through in everything you've said, mate. Like the bodybuilding gym, the cooking the chicken, the sweeping the floors, mopping the floors. You explained it with energy and with passion. You actually enjoyed it, right?
Love it, man.
And then when you stop enjoying it, you change, and then you change again, and I think that's awesome. So
that's it. We evolve, man.
We evolve.
We've
Alex,
got to.
You are an absolute champion, mate. I really appreciate it.
It's been a pleasure, dude.
I really appreciate you taking the time out to speak to us, mate.
Honored.
I'm sure you've inspired me massively. I'm sure you've inspired a lot of our listeners, mate. And
I hope so.
We're excited. I'm excited from a gym owner perspective and also from a fitness consumer perspective to sort of see the things that we've spoken about play out, and maybe one day I will come to Barry's. Maybe. I don't know why I'm fighting it, but next time I'm in London, mate.
Sana keeps bugging me to come to Dubai and come to InnerFight, so I'm sure I'll be over there sometime soon.
We have to have a trade. You do a session at my gym, I do one at your gym.
I don't think I'll be coming off a lot worse than you, dude.
No, mate, not at all. If you're running 10k in 30 odd minutes, mate, you'll absolutely smash me. So don't worry. Ladies and gentlemen, Alex Castro. Alex,
thanks, guys.
Thank you so much, mate.
Thank
Cheers.
you, dude. Pleasure.
Cheers.